me, Renee. I'm back. So, today, the Deweys 24-hour readathon. So I decided to do a first update on it. And, surprise, surprise! I actually started a bit before. It's not officially started, it's officially starts in 1 hour. But the rules are the rules. It's just read when you want to this weekend. On Saturday, it can be yesterday, it can be tomorrow. You can't read now, yesterday. But yeah. And anyway, I decided I wanted to might as well just start reading some of the books that I had on my TBR. And also, my plans got changed, so now I'm going to town for a bit. So then I'll lose some hours of reading time. So I'll just read a bit now. So I'll still read more or less 12 hours, or like as much as I can. I'll just change the timeline of it a bit. So yeah, that's what I did. So I started. I read first this. You can see it's a pretty short book, but I kind of assumed it was like 100 pages. I didn't look before today, and today I looked, and it's actually just 50 pages. So yeah, it just took me actually half an hour, well, maybe 1 hour. I think maybe it was more like half an hour really. There's lots of illustrations, and there's not that much of text, so it's very easily read. It's, as you can see, about toilets. A bit vulgar, yes it is. I suppose you could ask, well, is it for kids? Is it for adults? I would say maybe if you're 10 and up, because some of these aspects talk about war, and some of the texts are a bit, I would say, graphic, so maybe not for the youngest people. But also, like, if you're 90, would you care about this? Maybe not. I mean, this is for people who are young or young at heart, I would say. I suppose maybe some 90-year-old wants to learn about the history of poo, but of toilets. But then again, maybe not. I don't know. It's fun that it goes into the history, as I said, it goes into history of toilets, both of yeah, how before you had you just went into a hole in the ground. You didn't have toilets the way we have it now. But it also goes into how toilets are in different places, like how you can go to toilets in space, how you have to like have a toilet bag, how if you go to uh, Svalbard, or if you go to uh, the North Pole or South Pole where it's freezing, you can't poop outside because you'll just freeze off your ass, literally. So you have to poo in the in your tent. So that's kind of fascinating, interesting, I would say. So yeah, it was a fun read, really. I found it at the library a week or two ago, because the library had an exhibition about non-fiction books, and this one caught my eye, quite literally. I mean, it's pretty eye-catching, I would say, this cover. And also, kind of a funny aspect to this, and a bit of actually a bit of a teaching lesson for you non-Norwegians who are watching this. Probably a lot. I don't know if anyone Norwegians are watching this. Well, I suppose some of you maybe, but so far Norwegians haven't commented on my videos, so I'm just gonna assume you don't really watch me. And in that case, this book, as I said, as you see, it's in Norwegian, but actually here in Norway we actually have one language, but actually two. I suppose the closest you could call it would be like saying if you lived in the States, and then you could use both British English and American English in school. So it's the same oral language, it's the same official language. It's not totally different language, but there are differences. And then you might ask, why would you have two written languages? Well, history time. in from 1400s till 1600s, 1700s. Norway was actually part of Denmark. It was called Denmark Norway. So we didn't have our own king or anything. Our king was the Danish king. And then in 1814 we got our constitution. And in late 1814 in the beginning of 1814 we were part of Denmark. In the late middle of 1814 we were our own country. And then a few weeks later we were part of Sweden. And then we were part of Sweden for 100 years. So because of that, Norway has had connections to both Sweden and Denmark. And one of the written languages Norway has or uses is based on Danish, so it's very close to how we speak in how it is in Denmark. And then the other one is more based on Swedish in some ways, but it's also kind of funny because around the time we wanted to be free, late 1800s, we became independent in 1905. And in the late 1800s, there was this big to-do about finding Norwegian things about Norway or finding out heritage and stuff to like get a sense of self. So we would think like, yeah, you know what? We don't need those Swedes. So this was the time when two Norwegians went around collecting fairy tales in the same way that Robertus Grimm did it. Then we had the Asbjørnsen og Moe, and you also had some people starting to thinking that we should have our own language, our own written language anyway. So this one guy went around Norway. He went around southern parts of Norway. I'm from northern Norway, and he didn't come to Norway. But I think he went pretty much around most of the bottom of Norway. I'll just make like a small, here is Norway, Norway's like, okay, I can link a map and then just say like the bottom part of Norway, like under the long part he went around. And yeah, and he collected words and then he wrote down the meaning of them, and he discovered that actually a lot of places they had the same words for different things, even though he went to one town here and another town 5 hours away, but they still had the same words. I suppose because it's still the same country, but like they had a big mountain in the middle and stuff. So yeah, and that's language is based on how a lot of Norwegians speak. So that's called New Norwegian, and the other one is called Book Norwegian. So this, long story shorter, this book is in New Norwegian, and actually in New Norwegian it was kind of bigger for like 50, 60 years ago. And now it's not that big. Like, if anyone wants to read a book in New Norwegian, you'd have like a choice of maybe 4 or 5 books. If you want to read a book in Bokmål or Book Norwegian, you can all the other books really. And a lot of books are actually published in Norway. We'd love to read. So yeah, anyway, just a small history lesson, and this one is in Book Norwegian. Now you know that. So yeah, that was my first read. And then I had breakfast and took like a small breakfast break. And then I picked up this one, Haunted Places in Norway, or in Norwegian, På spøkelsesvandring. Haunted Places in Norway. So I thought, this is a good one to use for Halloween or the October readathon. Some of them were good, but a lot of them I didn't think was that interesting. I suppose it depends, like, because they told about like how it was like they took a specific place in Norway or building, and then they told different stories, like in 1905 Hans Hansen saw something that the others couldn't see, like they describe what people tell them about the hauntings. And sometimes it's like, oh my god, that's creepy. But often it seems like Norwegian ghosts are just like noises and sounds. And I wouldn't really say it's that interesting to read about sounds really. And like I suppose if you had used this as a basis and then written short stories or fiction. That could be fun. But this, just as it is, it wasn't all that really. It wasn't all that. It was fine. Wasn't awful, but wasn't all that good. So yeah, and those two are my first reads. And yeah, I'm still half an hour before we officially start. And yeah, I'm going. My first plan is, well, I'm gonna actually go to two lectures. There's this lecture a lecture week this week in town, so I'm going to one lecture today, two lectures, and yeah, so I'm going to that in maybe half an hour. So I won't be reading that much between 2:30 and 6, 7, something like that. Yeah, so actually I'm losing 4 hours. But yeah, I've started one now. I started already, so don't really care. So anyway, after, well, when I can get back to reading, I'm thinking I'm thinking I do know I have these books left on my TBR. So I have 5 books left, or to finish. This one is just like 80 pages. This one is, I think it's like maybe 200, 150. I don't think it's all that big. But I kind of think that next up I'm going to read this one. It's a Norwegian book about feminism in Norway, and I suppose a bit about feminism in the world today. Marta Breen is a Norwegian author and journalist who's written feminist books lately. She also wrote the book uh, Women in Battle, and it came out last year, I think. It's about, oh my god, equality and females, like suffragettes and stuff in Norway, but I think also on a world basis. So yeah, it started as a Norwegian book, and now it's just translated to all languages. She writes very good, and it's not that big of a book really. I think it's just like 180 pages. So yeah, this is one of the Finland books. So yeah, I think this is gonna be our next one. Was I might pick up this one, I'm thinking, but I'm leaning towards this one. Leaning towards this one. So yeah, that's how it all started with me today. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next clip, because I'm mixing this up to one whole clip. Renee, out. Renee, I'm back doing another update for Dewey readathon. So I just finished this one of Muses and Men. It's picked this up solely more or less because it's by Marta Breen. She's a Norwegian feminist and journalist, and yeah, journalist and feminist. And she's written some other books lately as well. I really love this one. Even though you see, I have lots of notes here, it still is a bit disappointing, I would say, in a way, really. The last 2, 3 chapters I actually skimmed very much. They weren't that interesting, really. But other books have been about, like, one book was about how, was about taking, was about arguing that we still need feminism in today's world. Because when it came out in 2014, 15, something like that, lots of people in Norway are saying, like, we don't need feminism anymore, we're equal, we don't need it, we got all we need. And then she wrote a book saying, no, we do need feminism. And she had like different essays saying chapters saying, we need it because this and this and this. Even though, yes, we have it good and better than a lot of people in the world, we still don't have it perfect. This book, as I said, I picked it up more or less just because of the author, because it's a new book by her. I didn't really know what it was about, and I suppose just 1 or 2 chapters in, I got to it. I kind of understood it. Like first, like what's it about? Because on the back it says like how to be a woman in a man's world, and it's a bit like that. But I would say kind of it's maybe it's most like the muses. Like it's most it takes a very fun. Well, it takes a look on takes a look at the aspects of how women are treated females are treated differently than men. Like if you were in the 1600s, you couldn't be a famous female author because you wouldn't get education, you wouldn't get opportunities, while men would get opportunities no matter what in a blink of an eye, and that's just bad. And yeah, it's also not that long, but still. And yeah, you see, I had lots of notes, so it was a lot of passages I liked, a lot of quotes I liked. But all in all, I would say I like your other books better, really. But I could show you. Okay. No, as usual, I don't really prepare stuff. But yeah, I'll just link her other books in W because she's written other stuff as well. She's written a book about equality and suffragettes. She's written a book about a book about it's actually this one actually. It's about quotes by women because she's also thinking like, well, I love the books nowadays are how guys focused. Like lots of the biographies that are written in the world are focused on guys. Lots of the quiz books are well, that's not a quiz book, but lots of the a quiz book somewhere. And lots of the quiz questions are focused on guys. This is a quote book, and it's just quotes from females about females. So it's very fun to like see those books. But this one, as I said, I'm a bit disappointed. I will say, a bit disappointed. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't. It wasn't life changing. But yeah, now I read it, and still, it's a library book, so I didn't lose any money. So yay. So yeah, huh. Uh, I put all these notes here, and it's a library book. How about that? I have to take them out so I can see if there's places on Goodreads because that's kind of like where I check out where the different quotes are and stuff. And lots of the places here is just Marta Breen quoting other people. So yeah, there's that. And as I said earlier, I read those two books. Well, those two books from the other video before the official start. I read this tonight during the official time, and yeah, I'm not that impressed with this one, as I've made clear now. So yeah. Anyway, now it's in an evening here in Norway. It's 11 o'clock in the evening. I've never had, probably never will, stay up for 24 hours. But what I do try to do for a Deweys readathon is I do try to like read as much as I can for as many of the hours. So I'll try to like don't maybe I wake up earlier. Maybe when I wake up I just pick up a book and just read, and don't go on Netflix and stuff. So yeah, my plan next is to do a bit of stuff here and then probably read a bit in bed and then go sleep because I'm kind of tired. Been a long day. And then read more tomorrow. And yeah, of course, for me, it ends tomorrow at 2 p.m. Well, there's a time change, so I think it's 2 1 p.m. One of those times. So anyway, so yeah, my plan is to read a bit more tomorrow. And tomorrow I have those 4 books to choose from. I kind of want to get this one. It's the smallest books. Well, it's one of the smallest books, and it's also a feminism book. I have a bit more hopes for this one, though you can't be guaranteed. So I might pick up this one, a crime book, or I might just pick up this one because I know it's good. So yeah, choices. But I'll pick up one of them tomorrow. That I'll do. And yeah, that's been that for the updates for day 1, or the first part of the Dewey readathon. And yeah, see you later. Bye. Me, Renee, I'm back. So bear with me now. I'm gonna do a crazy thing. Just wait a minute. So this has been a moment of silence for my purse. As you might see now, I'm taking it closer to the camera. It's actually more or less overused or too used, so I can't really use that much anymore. I used it all year. Actually got it last year for Christmas from my sister. And I've used it all year, and now it's starting to be broken from overuse. It's so sad. Though luckily I have other purses, but this one I really love it. But I suppose that's what happens when you use it so much and you have all the books in the purse at the same time, and when it's not supposed to have all that weight, yeah, then it gets broken or teared down. That's how it is, really. And that was a moment in silence for my beautiful purse. Bye. Hey, Renee, I'm back. So, this is probably going to be a final update for the Deweys readathon. It's now half an hour till it's finished. And side note, not side note, side note-ish, because of how the Deweys readathon is organized, it starts, well, as I said in the beginning, and here we are, it starts at 2 p.m. yesterday for me, and ends at 2 p.m. today for me. So, like some people, if you're in States, it starts in the morning, or in the morning. And so they stay up a long time, and then now it's their morning. But now for me, it's the afternoon. So as I did usually on a Deweys, I did sleep, but I did wake up when did I wake up? I think around 7. And since then, I read some more and had some breakfast and read some more. So yeah, Deweys for me is pretty relaxed in a way, because I suppose you don't have to, but I usually prioritize sleeping. But I still get some reading before and after sleeping. So nice. Sorry. So now a lot of people are updating that, saying that, oh, they're going to bed, they're going to sleep. Like, for me, I've been awake for a few hours now. Why should I go to sleep again? So it's kind of fun. Time difference. Anyway, let's get to the books. So I woke up and, well, actually, I read a bit in this one yesterday in bed, but then I realized after 2 pages, like, yeah, Renee, you're tired. Put away the book and go to sleep, which is what I did. Well, after a bit of procrastination, because you can never, even when you're tired, you can never just put away stuff and just go to sleep. You always have to do something. At least I did. But yeah, I finished this one today, early in the morning. It's sorry, it's exactly 100 pages, so it's like a good tiny sized book, I would say. And it's, well, I'd say it's not a book. It's a book, but it's not fiction, as you can might imagine, because it's so small. I suppose fiction can be small as well. It's a book. It's a book of letters in a way, designed to imaginary daughter of the author, or in a way, it's like her addressing her thoughts to the next generation. She's in her 40s, and she wants to like address things about feminism to the 20s and the people in their teens, really. I suppose in a way, it kind of remind me of that book, Dear. I don't know what the name is, but at least I think Dear something, and then the rest of the title is Thoughts for. Uh, no, you know what? I'm gonna check it out. It's supposed to do like a small post, but now it's 2 videos. Anyway, it reminded me a bit of the book by the Nigerian feminist Chimamanda Ngozi, Dear Lijiva, or A Feminist Manifesto in 15 Questions. This is kind of similar, but the Chimamanda Ngozi book was more like in general feminism in Nigeria and stuff. This, I suppose, I should just, read more titles because, as it says, it's more about sex and sexuality and sisterhood. So the author was raped once in 20s and once by her dad. So that's brought up and talked about, discussed. And then, yeah, it's more like female sexuality in general, really, this one. It was good. I really liked it. I liked it better than okay, better than the other one that I read yesterday. But still, I didn't love it. Why did I love it? I don't know. I'm not really sure. I suppose when you start book reading, you should start to reflect more and start to understand more. I don't know. My brain doesn't really work. Well, I don't always understand why. Maybe I should just reread it and then understand why. But like, if you think too much about why you understand things, then you just overanalyze it. That's kind of boring. Just takes the fun out of stuff, really. So yeah. Anyway, I finished this book. 100 pages. A book of letters. Sorry. It's written by a Danish woman who lives in Norway. So it's probably out both in Danish and Norwegian. Don't know if it's out in English yet. This one came out, I think, this year, maybe last year. I'll check it out if it's available in English, and then link it in Doolittle.